A safe score? Oh, jeez, I don't know about that. But great game of cricket, I thought. Pretty competitive. Obviously, goes down to the last ball like that, and GP probably was the fastest guy to try chase that down. So yeah, certainly sets up the weekend nicely.
You happy with your own personal performance though in that game? In a game where 400 runs were scored, you fought pretty well.
Yeah, it was a nice wicket, I must admit. Certainly had some pace and bounce, which was nice as well. Yeah, and obviously joining the Black Caps again, having some injuries, but yeah, always nice to join this group. Looking forward to the next few days.
I imagine you were cross paths with Tim David at various points around the world and things like that. What sort of a threat does a player like he bring? Someone who could just hit from first ball like he did tonight? How does that leave you as an opposition? You're always wary when you know you've got someone like Tim David at number 6 in that position.
Yeah, look, I think every team kind of has that guy, which is exciting for the game. Makes it interesting for us bowlers, challenging of course, but we've got people like Glenn Phillips, Mark Chapman who can hit. Obviously, Tim's very good and he plays a lot of T20 cricket, which I think helps sort of his mindset in those scenarios. He's probably played them a lot more potentially than other players, and certainly that experience gives him a lot of confidence, and he did the job tonight. So certainly back to the drawing board a little bit for us going into the weekend, but at the same time, hell of a game of cricket with over 400 runs scored. But yeah, we'll have to reassess for Friday.
On Ratchin as well, I think he was 14 off 16 and then gets to his 50 off 29 balls. For someone who's still, I guess, working his way through in T20 cricket, what does that say about him as a developing player?
Yeah, it says that he's got a hell of a head on his shoulders, I think. He's had a great year in all formats. He was great for us. The World Cup was amazing. Obviously recently batted very nicely against South Africa, and I think tonight probably he's going to give him a lot of confidence. He would say he probably hasn't had the best start to a T20 campaign, but we know the talent that he has, and you could see it tonight with the sixes he had, and he's got a lovely swing of the bat, so I'm sure he'll play a big part in the next few games.
What was the secret to bowling that? You played 140 plus obviously helps, but was there anything that you found there that was, or you saw from the Australian bowling that you could take into your own?
They used a lot of cutters. We kind of learned from that, I think, watching them up first, which is quite nice, bowling second. So yeah, I think cutters into the wicket. Off cutters changes pace. You've got to hit your Yorkers when you play on a good wicket where there's over 400 runs. But at the same time, I thought the boys bowled really well tonight as a whole. We had a lot of chances and it just didn't quite fall our way. So certainly a lot of positives to take through to Friday.
How do you feel about some of those missed opportunities? That you were 2 catches on the boundary, and even that 6 that hit flush on the rope, whereas it hit that 2 inches lower even forward.
Yeah, that's cricket. That's why people pay to watch it. Unfortunately, wasn't our night with some mistakes in the field. Certainly the boys know that, and it happens. But those can be the make or break moments sometimes within tight competitions like this. And obviously Australia played very well tonight and got us on the last ball in a hell of a game of cricket. So yeah, as I said, it sets up the weekend nicely. We'll look forward to going to Eden Park.
If you scored 431 combined here, how many you score at Eden Park?
What do you reckon? You tell me. I love Eden Park though. It's a great ground. The atmosphere, I've got great memories of playing Aussie there in a one-day early on in my career, and it's one of those epic grounds where the stadium feels like it's on top of you. So certainly I'm sure the Auckland crowd, my home crowd, will get behind the boys, and yeah, we'll see how Friday night goes and go from there.
What does it mean to have Trent back in the lineup as well?
Yeah, he's world class. I mean, I've said it many times before, not only the bowling that he brings to the park, but obviously the conversations that he has as a senior player, and he's been playing a huge amount of T20s, and in my books I think he keeps getting better every time he comes back and joins the group. He was fantastic with us in the World Cup in India, and that experience, having that on the field, the guys feed off that, obviously adds the left hand swing, so he'll be raring to go on Friday.
How good was it to see he's had a bit of a lead run over the last two or three months, but just the combination of him and Finn, how good was it to see him back and some sort of good touch there?
Yeah, well, he's world class, isn't he? So it only was a matter of time until he found his way again, I guess. And that's international sport. It's definitely not easy. And so, certainly it's a testament to his character, the way he's come through, and obviously put on a great performance tonight. And I said to him, I didn't even notice that he was keeping so well, and he says that's the best compliment he could get. So I thought that behind the wickets he was great as well. So always nice to play with that boy.
You bowled the 18th over and it was a great one. Was there any discussions about holding you for that last over, or was it always going to be you well intermediate?
That's just sometimes how the game rolls, yeah. Yeah, that's just how the game rolls. Sometimes I bowl later, sometimes early.
And just one last one. Is it easier sometimes to get over a loss on as close as this one than to a massive, say, the difference between those 30, 40 runs? Which one is a better one to get over in much faster?
Losing sucks. I hate losing, yeah, but at the same time, we only have a day to turn around and play on Friday. So, we're professionals. We know where perhaps we were a little bit short. That's the nature of being an international athlete. You're kind of always reviewing your game after each time. So, take the learnings, try to be a little bit better next game, 1% at a time, and then Friday I'm sure we'll be raring to go.
Cool. Thanks very much, everyone.